What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review of Chasing Dallas season 2 episode whatever the episode is after the fight, child, after the aftermath or whatever the aftermath, whatever this episode is called. I'll put it in the description box. So look, I did something I normally don't do. I looked at other people's reviews before I did my review because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was a little confused, and I just needed to see what other people were saying to see if my confusion was just me or if there was some confusion. So here's what it seems like. It seems like there was some interference on the side of production. Now I'm gonna tell you my interpretation, and it could be wrong, but this is how I interpreted the situation. The moment was created, but I don't think that they expected it to get physical. They wanted the arguing, the yelling, the screaming, the back and forth. They wanted that. They created that to happen. But they did not expect a fight to ensue. Now, what I saw though was that there was a whole lot of blame, but none of the blame I feel like was directed in the way it was in the area it should have been directed. Listen, y'all know that I'm a school teacher, okay? And the one thing that I always tell my students is that the only person that can control you is you. People can say whatever they want to say to you. They can cuss you out. They can call you out your name. They can talk about your mama. But you do not have a right to assault them because of their words. You just do not. You don't. And so for that, Womack, people keep wanting to say, well, who's to blame? Who's to blame? Who's to blame? Womack, you are the blame. You started this. You got physical first. Regardless of what somebody said to you, regardless of what production did or created, regardless of who said what and what said what, or however the situation was manipulated, at the end of the day, you were physical first. And I said that last week. So us adding this new element of CJ, who was one of the producers, having secret conversations with Dior, and that whole back and forth about who said this and who said that and who was supposed to be there and how that moment was created and all of that. Like, look, let's not be naive. Let's not stick our head in the sand. We know it is a reality show, and we know that moments are produced. Like, that is what it is. I am not saying that makes it okay, but let's not act like we don't get manipulated every time we turn on one of these reality shows. Even the reality shows that are competition shows are manipulated for storyline. So that part of it, I'm not even going to get my panties in a bunch about that whole part of it. But what I am going to say is, for us to find out, I think is a problem. I don't feel like that needed to be put on camera, and I don't feel like that needed to be shared. Like, if you need to have that meeting so that y'all can clear the air with CJ and Womack and Howard and Dior so that we can all figure out that can we all just woosah and get along? Fine. But the same way y'all didn't show us the whole damn conversation between Reese G and Markel making up, the same way y'all did that shit off camera, this conversation should have taken place off camera. I didn't need to know anything about CJ and what CJ did. That was not my business. That wasn't anybody else's business watching the show. That was between you and production. And I know that you made people sign NDAs. And if you didn't, then Reese, I'm going to tap your hand for your business sense because I know you know better. You were a stylist and you had celebrity clients. And I know you signed many an NDA in your day. So you know better. So I believe that these people had NDAs. And so therefore, that meeting should have been a closed meeting. We didn't need to know about it. What you could have done is spliced in a little bit of footage showing us that you as production, not as Reese G, star of the show, but Reese G, producer, EP, sat down with the people involved in the melee and worked it out. And that's all we needed to know. We did not need to know anything more about who CJ was and what CJ did or did not do. And why are we taping everybody? Damn. Like, there has to be a certain level of distrust from the beginning to be taping somebody. So CJ was taping them and then they were taping CJ. That tells me that nobody in this whole situation trusts anybody. And what is exactly that you don't trust? Clearly in this case you did get a little something on tape. But what were you anticipating getting on tape? that you had to tape record people's conversations. So, I look. I was just sitting here really confused because I was like, what? Then the actual fight, we saw, extended footage of the fight. Did somebody really have a gun, or was that just gunshot noise? Did somebody really go in their car and pull a gun out and shoot it in the air, as I have heard? Or did they just edit that sound in? And if somebody did shoot a gun, why? See, those are the games we should not be playing. Okay? I don't play with guns. I'm not, maybe because I'm not from Texas or some of these other southern states where everybody and their cousin got a gun and people got open carry and they can do this and do that. I don't come from that environment. I don't come from that background. So when I see a gun, it's go time. We're not playing. We're not joking. It's go time. It is run. It is run in a zigzag. And it is run until you find somewhere to hide until they stop shooting, okay? We don't play them games with guns, shooting them up in the air or otherwise. That was not how I was raised, okay? I grew up in D.C. in the 80s. We don't play that shit. Or the 90s. The 80s and the 90s. I'm just saying. So we don't play them games with guns. Alright? So I don't know what that was. Somebody cleared up in the comments for me. Whatever. Then we know they're going to New Orleans. Dior said him and his family will not be going to New Orleans because they ain't got time for the fuck shit. And you know what, Dior? I ain't even mad at you. Like, I'm just not. They were like, well, y'all came ready to fight. Yeah, they came ready to fight. You know why? Because Womack sent a message through Ariel that said, the next time I see him, it's on site and I'm going to slap the shit out of him. I would have been on 10-2. I would have shown up on ready to. You going to send a message through somebody that you know I rock with? Threatening me? Oh, yes, we ready. Oh, yeah, we ready. We showing up ready. Absolutely. Absolutely. They weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to show up ready. Because I wish you would. You sent a message to me through somebody you know I rock with, which means that you knew I was going to get the message, and the message was a threat. Oh, the next time that I knew I was going to be in the same room as you were, I'm ready. I'm ready. And I don't think that Dior or Howard were wrong to show up ready. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So I'm not really understanding how this situation turned on Trey Howard and then the whole jumping thing. Now, let me say this. I personally am not a proponent of jumping people. I think that if it's a one-on-one fight, let it be a one-on-one fight. And if somebody jump in it, then yeah, I'm going to make sure it don't become anything more. But, again, I can't tell somebody else how to fight. You don't get to hit me and then tell me how hard I can hit you back. So you don't get to start a fight with me knowing I'm sitting here with my whole damn entourage and not expect that it's going to become a problem. Like, I'm just saying, again, I mean, I'm just saying, like, these are the rules of the streets. Like, I don't make these rules up. This is just how the rules are. You ain't got to like them. You ain't got to agree with them, but they are what they are. You start a fight with somebody that's rolling 4 or 5 people deep. You think nobody else is going to jump in it? Especially when you started the fight. You hit him first. You snuck him. Y'all were having a conversation, and then you just punched him. You thought nobody else was going to get involved? And understand, I'm not saying that I'm agreeing with all of this, y'all. I'm just telling you what the facts of the situation is when we start talking about being out here in these streets and starting fights. It is what it is. The rules are what they are. I didn't make them up. But we don't get to flip it all and we don't get to totally absolve Womack and put everything on Howard and Dior. I'm sorry. How did that even happen? How did this get flipped around? Now, Howard, I respect, and Womack, because Kane said that both of y'all have apologized, so I give y'all much respect. Now, but what I did hear was that Dior hasn't apologized, and some of the other people involved haven't apologized. Look, put your big girl panties on and apologize, because all of y'all acted badly. Now, I believe Womack started it, but all of y'all acted badly. All of y'all did. All of y'all acted badly. And when production told y'all to leave, y'all should have left. All right. Reese had a conversation with Ariel and Kane, and they were just rehashing the fight. And that's when they were talking about New Orleans and how they ready to go to New Orleans. Reese said he invited everybody, and whoever show up is whoever show up. He said his Airbnb is packed. He got his dick on call, and he is ready to rock and roll. So you know what? That's all you can do, Reese. You invited everybody. You know, I'm sure you help make arrangements accordingly, because I mean, I know you wasn't paying for nobody, because it ain't that kind of production, and that's fine. That is okay. Ain't nobody mad about it. But I'm sure you made the proper arrangements or offers to, like, look, let's, you know, anybody want to go in on a timeshare, anybody want to split the bill. I mean, I'm sure you put certain things in place. So with that being said, it is what it is. Now, then we had this meeting with Dior where he called, I guess, the people he wanted to talk to and maybe apologize to. So we had Carrie D, Markel, Trey Howard was there. And Dior, look, Dior was 2 hours late. Now, when we're dealing with a production like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I know we've had scenes where people are an hour late or 2 hours late. But in that situation, y'all are paid to be there. And you get paid per scene. And, you know, so there's a different incentive. Why would y'all sit there and wait for 2 hours on this man? He called the damn meeting. And if for whatever reason you found yourself running late, you reschedule. That is so disrespectful of everybody's time. Dior, I get it. You are a hairdresser extraordinaire. You are out here making moves and making things happen. I get it. I respect it. But what you don't get to do is act like ain't nobody else doing nothing but you. You do not get to disrespect other people's time. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Do not disrespect my time. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and say that I ain't never late, because I am. That's a lie. But 2 hours late without me saying, you know what? Probably better for me to just reschedule this, and I apologize for everybody who's been waiting on me. But you call production talking about something, you were on your way. See, that on your way is so subjective, because on your way could be an hour away. On your way could be 10 minutes away. And then they had the nerve to say that you lived down the street. But you weren't at home. You were out doing a client's hair. And again, ain't nobody mad at you for chasing your hustle. Ain't nobody mad at you for making your money, because I ain't never going to tell nobody to stop making money. But what I am going to say is you were disrespectful as fuck for making them wait. And then gonna say, I'm sorry y'all was waiting on me, but I bought y'all some drinks. You'd have been a drunk bitch that night, because you'd have drank all of them, because I wouldn't have been there. And it just wasn't nothing you needed to say to me that I needed to wait 2 hours to hear. Carrie D, you know you my dog, but I'm mad at you for sitting there and waiting. Markel, really? Like, were y'all just being... Because, and Carrie D even said, look, I gotta go. Ariel said she had a damn date. Like, were they paying y'all to be there? I'm not even being funny. Like, did they drop y'all a little $50 and was like, look, y'all, we really trying to make this scene work. We're just gonna go ahead and cash app y'all $50 if y'all can just hang out here for a little bit longer. Because that's the only incentive that I can see for y'all to sit there and hang out like y'all hung out. Like, like, for real. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got. That's it. That's all. We're gonna be over to we're gonna be talking to Trey Howard tonight over to Yes Bitch TV's channel. If y'all are catching this later, just going over there and catch the replay, and maybe we're gonna get to the bottom of some of this, honey, because I ain't got nothing else for y'all. That's it. That's all. Peace.